Welcome to the crossover, where nothing is out of bounds and everything is fair game. We have a lot to cover with you today, but first, let's check in with the Tunnel Crew. Please give a warm welcome to Stats, Aggie P, Rooftop, TP, and Big T.
What's happening, everybody? And once again, it's time for the crossover, and I'm your man, Big T, alongside my tag team partners. We got a couple of members of the crew that will be calling in at some point during the show, but they are not currently here right now because we are practicing social distancing as a part of our being faithful to what we're supposed to do during this coronavirus outbreak. So the Queen, the First Lady, the Doctor, she will be calling in, and Aggie P, the man that brings the ag swag to the show, he will be calling in. But as for those who are in studio, I'm looking across at intern Isaac, a.k.a. Stats.
I'm 2 games behind.
Uh-huh.
At least we have a break so I can recover.
Okay, all right.
I'm trying to figure out how it happened.
And then I'm looking at the anchor right here in the center, the man that screams the truth from on high. He's brutally honest with it, none other than Rooftop.
The roof is in the house. I thought TP didn't like me.
Practicing social distancing. That's what she's doing.
Yeah.
And then we're going across the other side to the board men, and we've got Birdman.
Yes, sir.
What's
we
going
got
on?
Darius Slay, shut down corner.
There you go.
Going back to the Super Bowl.
All of 80th out of the top 100.
There you go. And then
Big game, I'm sorry.
And then we've got our man Radar holding things down as usual.
It's narrow is the way when it's time to play, Big T.
Narrow is the way, man.
Narrow
Where
is
would
the
we
way.
be without you saying that, man? Hey, and together we are the Tunnel Crew, watching everything that happens inside and outside the tunnel, leading to the lines of competition in the world of sports. And it was a week ago today that the coronavirus just came in and shut everything down. I mean, shut it down. ACC tournament, down.
Over.
SEC, all that,
Disintegrated.
down. You know what I
Shut
mean?
it
Just
down.
hey, NCAA tournament, down.
Closed for
You know,
business.
We just
Yes.
hey, shut it down.
Yes.
And guess what? Hadn't got any better because a week later, things are still being shut down. So real quick, before we get into our hot topics like we normally do, I'm going to go through a little coronavirus update in the sports world. All right. So let's go ahead and run through these right quick. The WWE. Yeah. We heard last week after the show that they had canceled WrestleMania. That was a false report because WrestleMania, as of right now, is still on.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Believe it or not. And it's basically due to an insurance policy.
Yep.
Okay, basically due to an insurance policy, meaning if the city of Tampa officials cancel, then the WWE can collect some money, insurance-wise. Yeah, but if WWE officials cancel, then Tampa is they out. They don't have to pay nothing. So it's great to
Messed
see
up.
money still
I'm telling you.
comes into play here. You know, I mean, we thought, oh man, everybody said forget the money. It's all about life, and here we go, money. Money rears its ugly head.
But you know, Big T, that's what it's going to have to be all about to be able to get everyone in a safe situation. You know, different peoples are suffering out here because of this virus. And, you know, I'm praying and hoping that the federal government will step in and do their part and help
That's
all
right.
of us out because everybody is affected in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
Amen.
Well, hopefully cooler heads will prevail in that situation, and they'll drop the money issue and say, let's do what's right for the safety of people.
Well, it'd be something
Well-
else if LeBron's hop up and say, I want my pay. I want my money. LeBron said he want his money.
Hey, me.
Hey, I heard that that they are going to still have it though.
Are
But they're
they?
just going to hold it without fans, and it's going to be at the WWE Performance Center's training facility in Orlando.
Oh, okay.
And then
So-
there's another possibility where they say, well, if we can't do it that way, then we'll just postpone it till June,
yeah.
and they'll just rework the storylines.
Well,
They better
so
postpone it at this point.
there you go, WWE fans. You got your update, so you know what's going on in the coronavirus during the coronavirus epidemic here. The NFL, they decided to move forward with free agency, as everybody I'm sure knows, and that's going to take up the bulk of our show tonight. And they also announced that the draft is on, but they said it's closed to the public, and all Vegas-related events surrounding the draft are canceled as well. Stat, you'll love this. Major League Baseball postponed opening day again.
Oh,
You know,
I love it.
So, yeah, I mean, it's just the fact we're talking baseball.
Oh, okay.
Just the fact we're talking. Hey,
You know how upset I was?
I know.
I'm like, this is a week before the season starts. If we were on normal time,
yeah,
and now I'm 2 months away.
2
from the
months
season
away,
start.
man. Hey, they said they originally had postponed it until mid-April, and now they've pushed it back to mid-May.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens there. Hey, then the MMA, Combat Sports. You know, they held an event last Saturday. They had to move it from here in the U.S. to Brazil, and they said that they plan to continue despite the Vegas ban on the use of their own facilities in Nevada. They're looking for other options. And Dana White, the president of UFC, he basically said that they're going to move their next fight to – they were going to move their next fight to an Indian reservation in Oklahoma this Saturday. But now with the mandate of no more than gatherings of 10 people or less, they said they're going to have to cancel that, and they're going to have to cancel their, I think, next 3 events after that. But he said they will find a way to get their next events after that, even if they have to move it out of the country. And he's come under fire. There's a lot of reporters that cover MMA and combat sports saying, you know, it's ridiculous that you continue to try to put these fights on. And he said, hey, you know, people need something to do. And so we want to be there.
When is it? When is this?
He said, I think they said in a couple of weeks, several weeks from now, that they're going to try to have something.
Yeah, well, Big T, it seemed to be, I think it's going to be strange to be able to go out and perform in any sport with no fans.
With no fans.
Because fans are the ones that motivate you.
Yep.
You know, and I just think it's impossible.
It just feels like a practice otherwise,
Exactly.
right? You know, like a scrimmage.
Like like you're practicing with no one in there.
Yeah.
You know, and so I'm waiting to see how this all gonna turn out.
Yeah. Well, real quick, WTA suspends all events until May 2nd. The French Open is supposed to take place May 24th through June 6th. We'll see if that happens. The NBA told all of their teams, they sent out a memo saying prepare for an extended stoppage and to also be prepared for the remainder of the season possibly being canceled and the playoffs maybe being moved to sometime this summer, like July or August. The NHL said the same thing. They said we're looking into trying to finish the regular season, and if that does happen, or even if it doesn't, probably trying to play the playoffs sometime in July or August. And there was also the first NHL player tested positive this week. A Senators player tested positive for the coronavirus. Kevin Durant and 3 Nets players also tested positive for the coronavirus on Tuesday. The Lakers team said that they would test the entire team because the last team they played before all the stoppage was the Nets. The PGA canceled the next 4 events. The next attempt that they have is going to be a tournament in late May. And Formula One Racing today announced that they're canceling their next 3 races. Their next event is June 7th, they hope. The ACC and the SEC has canceled all sporting events through the remainder of this school year.
Carolina was glad.
Major League Baseball had their first positive test. A player in the Yankees minor league organization tested positive on Sunday. And Sean Payton today announced that he had tested positive a few days ago. And we'll talk about that on the other side of the break. You're listening to The Crossover.
Support for WLJF programming is provided by Kingdom Cuts Barber and Salon, empowering people's lives through God's gift of enhancing them physically, mentally, and spiritually for the upbuilding of the kingdom of God by loving, caring, and serving. Kingdom Cuts Barber and Salon, 825 West Gate City Boulevard in Greensboro. Kingdom Cuts Barber and Salon, serving all ages from 11 months and up. For more information, call 336-763-8043. Support for WLJF programming is provided by Love and Faith Christian Fellowship, equipping the saints to do the work of ministry. Love and Faith Christian Fellowship, one church in two locations, in Kernersville at 521 Cinema Drive and in Greensboro at 4344 Blackberry Road. For more information, call 336-632-0205 or visit www.loveandfaith.org.
Do you have questions concerning life issues? Tune in to What's the Answer, a live call-in talk show that will give you answers based on the Word of God. Join Pastor Michael Thomas, Pastor Daryl Beatty, and Bishop Leroy George every Friday at 11 a.m. on 100.7 WLJF.
When I grow up, I want to be a doctor because that's a really important job. I would hope kids get better and make everything super fun. I'd have a cool waiting room with games, toys, and a huge TV.
If your child is sick over and over again, it could be PI, a serious defect of the immune system. Early testing gives children a chance to dream.
And I'll give every kid a cherry lollipop because that's the best flavor.
Jeffrey Modell Foundation, helping children reach for their dreams. Visit info4pi.org.
All right, welcome back to the crossover, and there's a number of ways you, the listeners, our fans, can get involved on the show. You can do that first by listening to the crossover online at WLJFradio.com. Click the Listen Live tab to hear us live. You can also click the On Air tab, scroll down to the Crossover Sports Show, where you can listen to past episodes of the show. You can also download the WLJF app. It's available on Google Play or in the iTunes Store. And you can post your comments and questions on Facebook at Love and Faith Radio or Twitter at Love Faith Radio. And new, starting tonight, you can subscribe to the Love and Faith Radio channel on YouTube. So go to YouTube and type in Love and Faith Radio and subscribe, and you can watch us there and get the videos of the broadcast. And then finally, you can reach us here in the studio by telephone at 336-387-0562. That number again is 336-387-0562. Just a reminder to all of our callers, this is a family-friendly show, so keep that in mind, please, when you're making your comments. Real quick, back to the Sean Payton news. So it was announced today that he tested positive a few days ago. He's been quarantined for the last several days. He was at a Louisiana horse racing event, I think they said 5 days ago. So no telling how many people that he infected while he was at that event. Now, he didn't know, but that's the whole reason they're saying stay away from large crowds, big events and stuff, because you might not have symptoms, you might not know, and then you may pass it to an elderly person or to a kid, and they die, So you got to take that into consideration. If he had not been at a large event, then, there'd been no chance of him infecting anybody. So even though he didn't know, just do what they're telling you to do,
You hear
It's
about
simple.
the Derby?
Stay.
No.
September.
Yeah, it pushed back originally, to July, and then
September.
Now September. Yeah.
Who's going to care about that point?
Well, is the horses going to run without anyone in the stands? Who be betting?
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, we saw one do it last year. Well, he didn't run without the fans. He ran without the jockey.
That was my horse, wasn't it? He won. He won that thing, man.
So last year we had the horse running without the jockey. The evolution will be the horse running without the fans. You know what I mean? Hey, I don't need the jockey or the fans.
Big T, you hadn't given me my win, man. That horse won that race. He didn't have a jockey.
We should have put it to a vote, like we did the Florida State win.
Oh,
hey, without, if they're not gonna have any fans,
yeah.
you might as well just put the horses out there and let them run.
I mean, what's the problem with it at this point?
Hey, like we said, they've already proven they can run without the jockey. You might as well let them go.
I mean, what else they can do right now?
I don't. Hey,
just take them horses, put them in the gate, and just hit them and make them run down.
Take off.
Hey, I don't think the horses get riled up by the fans cheering.
That's
I
right.
think that whip. Yeah.
That
Whip is what does it. Okay, well, let's go ahead and so that's your coronavirus update in the sports world. You see, once again, a week later, it's still affecting the sports world drastically. So let's move on to our hot topics. It's the hottest stories in sports. May not be what everybody else is talking about, but it's the things that we want to talk about, and we're going to kick off with, of course, the biggest news of the week, really the only news of the week. Well, outside of the collective bargaining agreement, is NFL free agency. Free agency kicked off this week, and man, there was a whole lot of movement, whole lot of things went down, and of course the biggest one was TB12, Tom Brady, announcing on Twitter or social media, I don't know if it was Twitter or not, but social media, I think Tuesday morning or whatever.
Yeah, it was Wednesday.
Yeah.
Well, Tuesday.
He announced on Tuesday morning, I'm gone. He said, I'm done. I'm moving on from New England, and I'm a free agent, and I'll be signing somewhere else. And that's when things got serious for Patriot fans,
Yeah,
It's not fun no more.
Yeah.
It's not fun no more.
Well, I have to be honest with you. If it was me, I think Tampa Bay is the one that's going to take the hardest hit.
Yeah.
And Brady, I think Brady is a great quarterback. But Brady is a traditional quarterback.
Yep.
Quarterback, like we said weeks ago, quarterbacks are changing. Brady about like that old quarterback that had that one face mask that reel to come around his face.
Charlie Brown face mask.
See, that day is gone. And if I was Tampa Bay, I think I would have stayed with Winston.
Yeah.
And kept working with him because Winston wasn't a bad quarterback. He just wasn't as sharp as he should have been. Just like Cam Newton.
You know something, Roof? I'm gonna tell you. I was sitting there and I was thinking, to me, you're saying our window is basically a year to 2 years by signing Brady.
Absolutely.
Because, you're talking about a guy that doesn't have much longer. Whereas with Winston, you at least, if you could correct the interceptions, he put up 5,000 yards last year. You at least could say, hey, we've got a guy at least 5, 6, 8, 9 years worth of play.
Right.
Just fix the interception.
Exactly. And sometimes, a young quarterback, it takes time to get, the kid that won at Kansas City, Mahomes.
Yeah.
I don't think he would have been as good of a quarterback if that kid didn't have good feet and good. This kid was the total package. Winston, on the other hand, he's a good quarterback. He just can't win with his feet.
Yeah.
And I think you have to develop a quarterback to learn this new style of being a quarterback back there. And me personally, again, I think Tampa Bay is going to be the one that's going to suffer from having Brady because one good hit. See, I'm old and Brady is old. See, one thing about getting old, you can't exempt that. I'm not going to go out here wrestling with these young guys because I'm old.
Yeah. Right.
I mess around and get hurt. I'm gonna stay locked. I'm gonna stay down for 2 or 3 and 4 weeks. I'm old. Same way with Brady. He get hit right. Where is that gonna leave Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
Well, this is my opinion on the situation. He left the AFC for the NFC, and in my opinion, the NFC, he's gonna find this out as a quarterback. The NFC is a little bit more competitive, a little more tough and tenacious than the AFC. He's going to find teams like the Cowboys, like the Eagles, like the teams in his division. Yeah, the 49ers, the Packers. He's going to have to see Seattle. He's going to have to see these teams at least once or twice. And it's going to be a reality. Well, I wanted to play up until a certain age, but let me go ahead and just test my waters in the NFC. And I think that's what his thinking was.
Yeah.
He wanted to test his waters in the different division, but he's going to find out real quick. It's not like the AFC. It's not like where you're going to be running roughshod. Like this, your division, especially the NFC South, is not like the Bills. You're not going to run all over Drew Brees. You're not going to run all over the Panthers. You're not going to run all over the Falcons if they have anything to say about it.
Yeah.
Hey, here's one thing that I laughed at because this shows you the mindset, the mentality of an owner. Okay, so Kraft released a statement and he said, "I love him like a son," and he said after 20 years he has earned the right to leave. After 20 years with us, he's earned. And I said, wait a minute, earned the right to leave? I'm like, dude could have left anytime he wanted to. He didn't have to earn the right to leave, but the owner's mentality is, he's earned the right, He's given us all he can give us. If he wants to leave now, he can leave. No, he could have left anytime he wanted to.
Well, see, when my thing with New England is this, and Brady left New England, and it was a system that was built around Brady. Brady may not be able to build that type of system at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is another monster, and it takes a special person to break through in that particular area and in that division.
Yeah,
and I just believe that he's going to struggle.
Yeah,
and I do. At his age, he don't need to be anywhere that he can't buy in or have been already bought in to the system.
Yeah, because Rich Gannon had a similar situation when you remember when he got to the Raiders and everybody thought he was kind of done, and then he had that breakout season.
Yeah,
and he did really well because you had veterans like Tim Brown, and then you had Rice. And he even had the running game, tight ends. He had a system around him, but he learned how to adjust to the system and to the players that he had.
Well, hey, check this out. There's a lot of numbers that this guy, numbers that I don't think we'll ever see again. And if we do, it's going to have to be somebody doing similar type stuff as far as what Brady has accomplished, because he's one of only 4 players in the history of the NFL to play 20 years with one team. 11 straight AFC East titles. 11. 6 Super Bowl wins in 9 Super Bowl trips. That means he won the AFC title 9 times.
Wow.
And capitalized on 6 of those when he got there. The most wins all time by a quarterback. 3 league MVP awards, okay? And I told you 11 straight AFC East. Well, it's 17 total in his 20-year career. That means this dude won the division title 17 out of 20 times. And don't forget, he didn't even play his first year. Remember, he was 4th string his first year. He watched the games from the stands his first year, so you can throw that one away. Okay, so it's really 17 out of 19 years he won the division.
Are we counting the year he got hurt?
Oh,
are we counting that? We're going to say
renege? And he didn't win that one.
He didn't win that one because he was hurt.
He didn't win that one.
But Big T,
y'all stole that one.
I like the way you said it. When we look at history, we look at George Washington, Abraham Lincoln,
Tom Brady.
You need to put him in the history books.
Yeah,
it's a new day out here.
Yeah,
and let me tell you, those defensive linemen, I'm telling you, they're getting quicker and quicker, and Brady is getting older and slower. You're gonna have to have a young quarterback back there who are able to be mobile in the hole and get rid of that ball. Winston can't do it, so that's the reason they want to get rid of him. If it was me, I would have brought in a good young quarterback that, just in case, let Brady help him to develop while Brady take the major role. Because the way I see it, Brady may go out anytime.
I'm thinking like Aggie P. That Tampa Bay Heat is something different. And Brady ain't played in that type of heat in a long time. And cramps and dehydration is going to be real.
There's a reason he struggled in Miami. Every time they play down in Miami, he's down there losing.
Going to be gassed.
Hey, listen up, fans and listeners of the show. You can join us in a number of ways. The number one way is you can listen to us live on WLJFradio.com. And once you're there, click the Listen Live tab, and you can listen to us live. You can also download the WLJF app. It's available on Google Play or in the iTunes Store. And you can post your questions and comments on Facebook at Love and Faith Radio or Twitter at Love Faith Radio. And you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Love and Faith Radio, and subscribe so you can check out the videos there. You can hit us up here in the studio at 336-387-0562. That number again is 336-387-0562. Our man Aggie P has jumped in here. Aggie P, chime in on the Tom Brady move. What do you think?
Tom Brady. I agree with Rooftop.
Think he's too old?
Brady. Yes. Come on, Big T.
Say time to let it go.
Well, yeah, it's time to let it go. But if he just got to, try his manhood a little bit more, Big T, I would say he need to go to San Diego.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, the Chargers.
They got good talent there, and he can get that ball out of his hand quickly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he might be able to survive 1 year there. But the game is changing.
Yeah. I think so.
Aggie P, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir, bro.
What do you think a quarterback with that kind of history as Brady, what do you think he's trying to prove? We know it can't be money that he's doing it for, okay? I think I hope that it's not money. Or is he trying to do it to prove something? I mean, he done broke every record you can just about think of. So what is the hype of a quarterback? I know in basketball, you know, when you getting old and you going up there trying to dunk and the goal look like you're just going to tear it down and all of a sudden you don't even touch the net.
You get hung.
Right.
So what is the hype in a football player? I need to know.
Well, Rooftop, I think we have talked about it before on the show, and I've kind of, let you guys in on, just say when all the guys at A&T come back to play with me, there's a couple of guys that still think they can play and still think they can go out and do college things. So what I'm seeing, Rooftop, you're absolutely right. It can't be the money.
Nope.
He has set records that, like Big T said, that probably no one is going to reach. Right now, Rooftop, I just believe it's just all ego.
You think
it's just all ego, and he really thinks that he cannot be touched.
But he has a target on his back.
Wow.
He does, but like Rooftop said earlier, and we talked about the week before, the game is changing.
Yeah.
These defensive ends and tackles, man, they are elite athletes, man. They're standing 6'4", 280, running 4.6 40s, 4.5 40s, and got a motor.
Hey, Aggie P, hold that thought, because we got a hard break. All right, we'll be right back with more of the crossover.
Yes, sir. All right.
Support for WLJF programming is provided by Kingdom Cuts Barber and Salon, empowering people's lives through God's gift of enhancing them physically, mentally, and spiritually for the upbuilding of the kingdom of God by loving, caring, and serving. Kingdom Cuts Barber and Salon, 825 West Gate City Boulevard in Greensboro. Kingdom Cuts Barber and Salon, serving all ages from 11 months and up. For more information, call 336-763-8043.
Hi, this is Jesse Gaither with Financial Destiny Incorporated, a nonprofit consumer credit counseling agency. Please join me on Mondays from 11 to 11:30 for Empowered to Prosper. During this time, brothers and sisters, you will learn how to activate and apply systems, principles, and laws of God's kingdom. that really will help you become better financial stewards of what's already entrusted into your hands. We're going to cover debt elimination, credit repair, credit building, student loan modification, even home buying. We're going to cover home buying, brothers and sisters. And brothers and sisters, there's a lot of free money out there. One of my favorite topics is knowing your own financial number. How powerful is that? And stay tuned on Mondays from 11 to 11:30 a.m. for the Empowered to Prosper show. We're going to empower you to prosper financially God's way.
WLJF programming is supported by New Beginnings Christian Bookstore with best-selling authors and artists, Bibles, gifts, and homeschool materials, building relationships, enhancing lives through Christian products. New Beginnings Christian Bookstore, located at 4344 Blackberry Road in Greensboro. For more information, call 336-632-0205 or visit www.newbeginningbook.com.
WLJF FM, Greensboro.
All right, welcome back to the crossover, and listeners, fans of the show, you can get involved in a number of ways, and you can go to the Google Play or the iTunes Store to download the WLJF app, and you can also post your comments and questions on Facebook at Love and Faith Radio or Twitter at Love Faith Radio. You can also now, this is new starting tonight, you can subscribe to the Love and Faith Radio channel on YouTube. Catch the videos of the in-studio show there. And you can listen to the crossover online at WLJFradio.com. And once you're there, you can click the on-air tab, scroll down to the Crossover Sports Show where you can listen to past episodes of the show. And finally, you can call us up here in the studio if you want to talk to us at 336-387-0562. That number again is 336-387-0562. Just a reminder to the callers, this is a family-friendly show. So please keep that in mind while you're making your comments. Aggie P.
Yes, sir.
What about when it comes to Brady? How much of this you think he's trying to prove he can win without Belichick? You know, how much of that comes into? Because you know, a lot of people say, man, you can't do it without Bill. And they say the same thing to Bill. They say, you can't do it without Tom. You know how people are.
Well, once in the fire. Big T, it goes back to an ego thing.
Yeah.
You know, if that's what he's thinking, that's an ego thing.
That is. Hey, we're going to find out for sure, right?
Well, that's right. That's right.
Well, you know, Aggie P, it's about like, I remember when my uncle and my father was going up in the apple tree to try to shake the limbs for the apples to come down. And when they both went up, they kept going up and up and up. And then when they looked down, they realized how high they was up. Both of them was afraid to come back down. So my grandfather had to get a letter to help them both back down out of the apple tree. So that's the way I look at Brady and Belichick. You know, they both are climbing the tree and afraid to come back down.
That was a beautiful parable.
Yeah,
that was a beautiful parable.
Hey, we're going to real quick, because Tom Brady wasn't the only move that happened. We're going to real quick just run through some of the highlights of this first week of free agency. Of course, the first domino to fall was the Titans signing Ryan Tannehill. And you give the guy 4 years, $118 million, $62 million guaranteed.
Good.
$29.5 million per season. And let me remind everybody, dude passed for 72 yards in one playoff game, 88 yards in another playoff game. You didn't win those games because of him. You won those games because of that defense and Derrick Henry. But they've fallen in love with Ryan Tannehill, and they better hope it's worth it, you know. They franchise tagged Derrick Henry, who won the rushing title last year with 1,500 yards. The Vikings traded Stephon Diggs to Buffalo for 4 draft picks this year. And Dallas put the franchise tag on Dak Prescott. And then DeAndre Hopkins was traded from Arizona traded from Houston to Arizona for David Johnson. Yeah, that was a bad move. And all the controversy that's come out surrounding that. Michael Irvin saying, that Hopkins told him that, Coach O'Brien was comparing him to Hernandez and all this stuff.
How you gonna compare him to Aaron Hernandez?
And then talking about, watch out with your baby's mamas hanging around the facility and everything. But then Hopkins refuted everything Michael Irvin said and said, no, it's not true. I got all the utmost respect for Coach.
That's what you say.
We don't have any problems.
You get traded, that's what you say.
But why has Michael Irvin not responded? Because if somebody told me I was lied, I hadn't heard. Has anybody heard anything from Michael Irvin?
Not a word.
So why hadn't he said anything since Hopkins came out and said you
don't want no
typical Dallas Cowboy. That's all.
You don't want no drama.
Say typical.
Yeah, all mouth.
He is a loudmouth. I'll give you that.
Well, and then you had Jacksonville traded Calais Campbell to the Ravens for a 5th-round draft pick. That AFC title defense has been shredded. You no longer have Jalen Ramsey. You no longer have Calais Campbell. That team was in the AFC Championship game, 3 years ago? Yeah. And now they are a shell of them. So that shows you how quickly it happens. Phillip Rivers signed with the Indianapolis Colts, 1 year, $25 million. Yep. Jason Witten, Cowboy fans, went to Vegas for $4.75 million for 1 year. The Bills.
That's another one that need to stay home.
So he need to sit down.
Yeah.
Hey, the Bills lost defensive tackle Jordan Phillips and defensive end Shaq Lawson, and so the Bills defense, they're starting to. Everybody talking about they're going to be the team that's going to replace New England. Well, if you start letting all these guys go, who knows?
They can't help it. They over the salary cap. The guys want more money, and it just
you can't keep everybody, right?
It don't add up.
You better win it when you can win it. If you don't win it, then it's over, baby.
They took y'all's throwaways. You saw that, right?
Yeah.
They took 3 of y'all's throwaways.
Yeah. Hey, check this out. The Bears, they signed Nick Foles, and also signed Jimmy Graham. And they also signed Robert Quinn, a bunch of guys that a lot of people say could be has-beens, but, you never know. And then today, this just came down today, the Broncos released Joe Flacco. He failed a physical, so they said, you're out of here.
Get out of here.
The Rams released Todd Gurley, and a lot of people saying the virus hurt him because team couldn't check him out. Yeah. And they couldn't look at him, and so he's been released because he was going to get $20 million over the next 2 years if he was still on the Rams roster after 4 o'clock. So they said, not here, buddy. And then Clay Matthews was also released by the Rams. Dude had 8 sacks last year, so there's still some value there. So, hey, this free agency thing is serious.
But it's big, though. It's big. Big T, I don't know if you mentioned this one or not.
We getting ready to get to. I know what you getting ready to say.
You know I'm finna say it.
I know. Go ahead. Go ahead. Lead us. Go ahead. Hit us with
Bridgewater.
There you go. And I was saving that one to last because our Panthers made a big move.
Get rid of Cam.
They bought Teddy Bridgewater in.
That is my boy.
And Cam is.
I love Bridgewater.
Cam's sitting out there floundering. Don't know where he's gonna go now.
Because I'm gonna tell you, the reason why I like Bridgewater. The dude went through some struggles.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he never gave up.
Never.
And he had some injuries, and a lot of people had counted him out for some years.
Mm-hmm.
And he stayed on the back burner of everybody. I'm praying and hoping that he gets his opportunity with Charlotte and be able to start and see what he can do with some time on the field.
Yeah.
And not playing it up under someone else's shadow.
Yeah.
But be the man.
Right.
And I think he can do it.
Hey, we got Guru on the line. Guru,
hey,
jump on in here, man. How you doing? Jump on in here. You staying safe with the coronavirus and all of that?
Oh yeah, man, I
am. Good. So what you got for us?
I think Brady to Tampa Bay. I didn't like it at first, but to go after Brady, your team have to be almost in contention for a Super Bowl. But if you go back and look at Tampa Bay, they didn't make the playoffs, but they had the number 1 defense on the run, and Winston threw 7 pick sixes. So didn't nobody really blow Tampa Bay out.
7.
Yeah, they had 9 games. They lost by 7 points or less. And when you throw 35 interceptions, you a big part of those losses.
Well, let me remind
Wait a minute,
you.
Roof. You were just talking about how much you love Cam Newton. Now you done jumped the Bridgewater.
No, I still love Cam, and I hope we can keep both of them.
That's a double-minded man.
We can have them both.
That's a
double-minded man. How you gonna love two quarterbacks?
Cam probably ain't gonna let that happen.
We didn't pay about 80 million to Bridgewater, and Cam still got some stock. And Cam a bad boy. He may have to do it on one foot. But I want to go back to Tampa Bay. That statement you made, Winston throwing 7 picks, and Tampa Bay had a good season. Tampa Bay have the same season every year. Don't nothing change.
It seems the same.
They give you the same. They've been giving you the same thing since Dungy left and won the championship.
Yeah,
Am I right?
That's right.
They give you the same thing every year.
And they strip.
And you know I'm telling the
They
truth.
cut everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, they struggling, but this year's team, a couple of years ago, they had a good team when they had Jackson and Evans, and I think it might have been Winston first or second year.
Mm-hmm.
They had a good team.
And what did you consider? What did you consider a good team? Because every year
making the playoffs,
just making the playoffs. That's a good season.
Yeah, for most. Only one team can win it.
Yeah, well.
So, if you look at somebody like Tampa, who don't nobody expect to win nothing, that's like the Detroit Lions. Don't nobody expect them to win nothing.
Well, so listen, we've got a question of the day, and that question of the day is this: will Brady or Belichick win more without the other? And I want to go ahead and get your thoughts before we let you go. Guru, what do you think? I heard Aggie P chime in there.
I would say Belichick, because Belichick is already coaching his team. He already got his system.
Mm-hmm.
He just need to put players in the system. Brady's going to a new team, and I think Belichick, because Belichick already has his system in place.
Okay, real quick, I got some numbers for you. Okay. This courtesy of stats. He don't even know he sent them to me. Belichick is 219-64 when Tom Brady starts a game for it. Okay? Without Tom Brady, when anybody other than Tom Brady starts for Belichick, his record is 18-19. Now, let's look at one season when Brady got hurt. That was the 2008 season after they nearly had the undefeated season. And Brady tore his ACL in the first game of the season, and then Matt Castle came in. They went 11-5 that year and missed the playoffs. So if you take 11 of those wins away from those 18, okay, and 5 of those losses away from that 19, that makes him 7-14 without Tom Brady as the starter. Okay, so basically 2 quarterbacks have accounted for, the bulk of those wins. Castle been long gone. He's 7-14 when Tom Brady or anybody other than Tom Brady or Matt Castle starts. 7-14.
Not good.
Think about that.
Well, I want to say something.
Yeah.
I think to me, I think New England dynasty is gone. It's over.
So,
just like Chicago Bulls when Michael Jordan was there, they had a great run.
Mm-hmm.
Golden State,
mm-hmm.
they had a great run.
Mm-hmm.
I think New England, their dynasty, what they have built, is gone.
Nothing lasts forever, right?
Nothing lasts forever.
I see what you're saying, but I think they got one more playoff run in them. If they get a quarterback, a decent quarterback like a Dalton or Stafford or I don't know about Cam. I don't know about Cam. I need somebody who can throw. I don't need nobody who can run. I need somebody who can throw.
But you know what, Radar, learning a system sometimes takes time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if Belichick is going to have that kind of time because he's been riding the horse for a long time with Brady. And Brady was, be honest with you, it's easy to coach a player that is a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy because Brady called his own plays.
Yeah, he did.
Brady was smart enough to look at the defense. Brady knew more about the offense than Belichick did.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy when you got all Americans out there. When you go and play against Duke, you be looking at Duke play, and you say, "Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna come back and coach my team like that." You can't do it.
He said you can't do it
because it's much easier to coach all Americans than it is to go out here and coach kids that just play the game.
But if you can get players that want it bad enough, and they want to prove the teams that let go of them that they made a mistake. Especially in the NFL, we know all too well how players come into a new system, a new coach, and they like, oh man, we got the best of both worlds, and we in a weak division.
But
they still got a weak division.
But Radar,
pretty solid.
But
here we go.
But Radar, remember
one playoff run and now they solid.
Remember, two peoples went up the apple tree. They went up to shake the apples out, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, they did.
And could neither one of them come back down. Okay?
Okay.
So, and that's what I'm saying. You know, it's easy to look up and say, okay, we're going to shake the apples. But after you shake the apples down, you got to look back down. And when you look down, it looks totally different than it is looking up.
Okay.
Hey, Aggie P.
Yes, sir.
Those numbers I just said, because you jumped in there real quick and said Belichick. Those numbers that I just gave you, change your mind any?
No, sir.
No, not at all.
I'm still sticking with Belichick. I think someone had mentioned if they can get a good quarterback,
mm-hmm.
you know, he's a good coach.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll be in the mix. Now, as far as being dominant like they used to be,
yeah,
I don't know about that. You know, that's still out for us to see.
Okay.
But Belichick, I think, just my opinion, would do better with the wins than Brady is going to do. Because Brady is about to find out why Jameson threw so many interceptions.
Hey, guy, yeah.
Hey, getting hit up, you know, all them licks.
Yes, man. Hey, those windows close quick, man, when them linemen don't protect you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, he, you know, that's why I say I wish he would have went out to the Chargers maybe where he can get rid of that ball quickly. Like he's used to.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I hope he proves me wrong, but I just don't see him.
He'll prove you wrong,
at Tampa Bay.
Well, hey, 3 segments have flown by. It's hard to believe. We said coming in, man, we're not going to have anything to talk about. Sports is shut down. Well, guess what? We were wrong.
Talking about 2 old guys.
We've got 1 segment left, and it's called The Wrap Up. We'll do that on the other side. Hey, Guru, thank you for joining us, man. Take it easy.
Support for WLJF programming is provided by Kingdom Cuts Barber and Salon, empowering people's lives through God's gift of enhancing them physically, mentally, and spiritually for the upbuilding of the kingdom of God by loving, caring, and serving. Kingdom Cuts Barber and Salon, 825 West Gate City Boulevard in Greensboro. Kingdom Cuts Barber and Salon, serving all ages from 11 months and up. For more information, call 336-763-8043.
Hello, this is Brody Sowell.
And I'm Kim Sowell.
And we're excited to announce that we'll be hosting a radio show entitled Marriage So Well on WLJF Radio 100.7, where we'll be discussing all things marriage to help strengthen our marriages and to build loving homes through the Word of God.
So we want you to please join us on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. and help us to build a community of couples who are exemplifying marriage so well.
You may not realize how important 3 letters can be. For a patient who needs type A, B, or O blood, these letters can mean life, but there simply aren't enough people giving blood. Every 2 seconds, someone in the U.S. needs it, but only about 3% of the population donates. Without more donors, hospitals may not have the blood needed to save lives. That's why the American Red Cross needs people to help restore the A's, B's, and O's that are depleting each day. When you make your appointment to donate blood at redcrossblood.org/missing types, you can help give strength to kids, parents, and grandparents who face life and death challenges. From cancer patients to accident survivors waiting for critical surgeries, your generosity can give someone more life. Don't wait until the letters A, B, and O are missing from hospital shelves. You are the missing type patients need. Visit redcrossblood.org/missing types or call 1-800-RED-CROSS to make your donation appointment today.
It's time now for the crossover wrap-up report. Let's send it back to the Tunnel Crew.
All right, welcome back to the crossover. And one more quick bit of information. I got a couple of quick hits here. Rick Pitino signed with Iona on this week. He was fired by Louisville in 2017 over the scandal, the recruiting scandal and all that stuff. He spent the last 2 years in Greece guiding their senior national pro team to the Greek Cup championship last year. And so he's back in college basketball. He's back.
He should have signed with Northern Iowa.
No, Iowa.
Hey, and then there was a Tyson Fury story that came out this week. He's under investigation, saying that his camp tried to bribe a farmer. So he tested positive in 2017 for a banned substance, HGH, and he said it was because of some meat that he ate. And they said they purchased the meat from this farmer. Well, the farmer came out and said they tried to pay him to basically validate their story. So he's under investigation now. So man,
it was the meat.
Say it was the meat.
Yeah, he ate a steak and it had a substance in it. Don't know what it is.
Say it had a substance.
Yeah, some kind of substance.
Something funny in that meat.
Hey, and then the NFL continued to steal headlines this week. Before all the free agency stuff started, they came to a collective bargaining agreement with the players, and what they agreed to, the terms of that agreement were a 17-game regular season as an option. A lot of people are talking like that's already happened. They said it's an option. The owners have the option of going to a 17. So it's not going to happen in the 2020 season, but it could happen any season moving forward over the next 10 years. That's an option that's on the table. And then this is official. 2 more playoff teams added, starting at the end of the 2020 season, going into the playoffs. The way it will work, the number 1 seed in both conferences will get a bye. Everybody else will play. So if that were in effect this year, Kansas City would have played in the wild card round, and Baltimore would have been chilling like they were anyway. So that is what happened there. There are also some other things that happen along with that, like increased game day roster. You know, they're increasing the game day roster from 53 to 48, and they're increasing the practice squad from 53 to 55 players. It increases the minimum salary of players. So you probably heard a lot of the star players were complaining and saying they didn't like this deal. But the reason it passed, and it barely passed, it was like 51 to 48% players, and you just had to have a simple majority. The reason it passed is because the all of the other players, not the star guys, basically said, look, we want to look out for the other guys. And they said because of this deal, the smaller guys on the roster are going to get more money, more benefits, and we think that's worth it.
That's
Which to me, I said, hey, I love that, because it means that you're not just looking out for the guys at the top. And really, the only guys who were really complaining about it were the guys at the top, And so I was glad they looked out for the other guys. It increases the salary cap. And a statement by Goodell, he said, we are pleased the players have voted to ratify the proposed new CBA, which will provide substantial benefits to all current and retired players, increase jobs, ensure continued progress on player safety, and give our fans more and better football.
So no matter what Cam go, he's going to get a check.
He's going to get paid.
That's the middle ground for the players, because what everybody doesn't realize is that most of the players that voted on that, some players disagreed on it, some players did agree on it, but if they didn't come to a census, what everybody doesn't know is that it was either that deal or we're going to do like the NBA and we're going to have a lockout, or they're going to go on strike. So that's what everybody doesn't really know. I actually emailed a person that was inside of the NFL. And I had actually gotten more information about that, and he told me the same thing. It's like it's either that deal or we're going to go and do like the NBA and go on a lockout or some sort of a strike.
We don't want that.
No. So we got labor peace for 10 years because of that deal. So that's a good thing. All right, real quick, let's go to our standings here. We don't have any picks for this week because nothing really going on, but we could have did a free agency pick. Where's this? That's what we should have did. Where's this guy gonna go? Where's that guy gonna go?
0-6.
But anyway,
everybody would have been 0-5, 0-6.
Hey, here's what we have though. So last week we had picked the ACC tournament, and before it was suspended, games had been played. So we went ahead and counted those games, but we ended up counting the champion, because we had a vote, and we ended up saying since they awarded Florida State the trophy and called them the official champions, that anybody that picked Florida State will get a win for that, which means anybody that didn't pick Florida State got a loss. So there were only 2 people that picked Florida State to win the tournament. That was Rooftop and Aggie P. So both of them went 6-1 in the tournament.
Together, Zach.
All right, they went 6-1 and they won the week.
Big time.
I went 5-2, so I came in next.
Who you go with, Carolina?
I picked Virginia to win. Yeah. And then TP went 4-3. She had Virginia to win. Stats went 3-4.
Wait for it.
Yeah, he went 3-4.
That 1-1.
And then Birdman and Radar both went 2-5 and bringing up the rear. So here's what the standings look like this week. I'm on top with 29 wins. Stats is second with 27 wins. Aggie P closed the gap. He's got 26 wins. He's only 3 back. Rooftop is next with 25 wins.
Coming at you, Big T. I'm coming at you. You and Aggie P.
Birdman is next with 22 wins. TP has 21 wins. And Radar has 20 wins.
Yes.
So there you go. That's the standings. Hey, we may have some picks next week. We may not. We don't know.
We told them, Aggie P. Them. We were trying to tell them.
You tried to tell them?
Shoot. Florida State won the tournament and didn't even have to play. I like them guys.
Did he? Hey, well, Kansas is saying so Kansas was officially named the AP number 1 team. They released their final poll. Duke finished number 11, which means they finished out of the top 10 for the first time in 20 years at the end of the AP poll. And Kansas, they said, we don't. What does this mean? I mean, Bill Self said, "Does this mean we're the national champ?" So, and there's some talk of maybe them putting up a banner in their arena saying, 2020 national champs. Because they were officially voted the top team in the country. We will see what happens.
They always choke in the tournament, so they can't even claim it.
I'm proud of
Hey, if you can hand the trophy to Florida State and say you're the tournament champ.
It remember me with them tutors in college, They take that test for you and you turn it in and you get 100 and you feel good about it.
And be pumping his fist.
Yeah. Look what I did. Look what I did. Boy, I'm so good.
No goodwill, you hadn't passed anything.
Hey, does anybody have a shout out or a shut up and play candidate?
Okay, I got one.
Yes,
shut
sir.
up and play. The Houston Texans.
Oh.
How stupid of an organization can you be?
Mm-hmm.
I woke up to that news and I just couldn't believe how stupid that they were. I'm like, is it the coronavirus making their brains stop working? You're gonna trade your best receiver in a year you went to the conference championship, and you trade him for an injured running back.
But this is a wide receiver rich draft. We've heard that a million times. So why not get rid of him? Get that money off your books.
You're banking on a rookie now.
Well,
and they're banking on O'Brien to lead them the way.
And he's
so
not
again,
even a good coach.
But again, they got a quarterback like Watson. I'll roll the dice.
That's right.
Anybody else?
Yes, I have one. If Cam Newton cut that thing on his head and go to another team, I look for someone, whoever he go to win a championship. If he cut that thing off. I don't know what it is up there, but if he cut it, we know Cam's going to play some football somewhere.
That's part of the free agency deal, man.
That's what they don't want. That's the reason no one picked him up yet. They trying to figure out what in the world is on their head up there.
Anybody else?
You got one, Birdman?
All right. Okay, check this out. I've got one. NBA players, Zion Williamson, Blake Griffin, many other guys, they said they're going to pay the salary of everybody that works in the arenas for the teams they play for the next 30 days. A lot of other players said they're going to step up and do the same. They deserve a shout out for that. That's pretty awesome.
And
Big ups.
And Zion going to be 500 pounds when he come back.
Burger King.
All right, for Birdman.
Yes, sir. Be safe out here.
I mean, I'm sorry for Stats.
Stats don't lie.
For
Ruth, keep praying.
For Radar.
Narrow is the way.
For Aggie P.
No weapon.
And now for you, Birdman. I'm sorry, bro.
Well, we'll do the bird sound this time.
There you go. I'm your man, Big T, signing off. Oh, and for the Queen also. We miss you, Queen.
Miss you.
I'm the man, Big T, signing off and saying, no matter where you are, look up and know that your creator is there. Until next time, see ya, and we might want to be you.
All right, guys. Y'all good.
That's all we have for you today.
All right.
So be sure to join us next week for the crossover. And remember, the Tunnel Crew don't play unless we have something to say.
WLJF FM, Greensboro.
Support for WLJF programming is provided by Love and Faith